Hello. So I can't hear you. No, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. But well, that's a shame. But anyway, I only have 10 minutes because I'm waiting for a reserved call. Oh, there you go.
Okay, so again, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Okay. Sorry, I only have 10 minutes. I'm waiting for a reserved call at in
Yeah,
10 minutes.
I see, I see. I have already read on your profile. Yeah,
All right. Well, would you like to have a quick chat? Where are you now?
yeah. I'm at my home and I'm from India. You must
Okay.
know about India because it's a very huge country.
Yes. I've never been to India. I'd like to go there someday, but well, especially recently, I haven't been able to go anywhere
Yeah, but
with
most welcome to India.
I would love it, and I love the food very much. Actually, I'm in Thailand. I live in Thailand.
Oh, that's good. So, what do you do there? You are originally from United States, and what do
Yeah.
you do there?
Well, I'm an English teacher, so I have taught in some of the biggest language schools here. Now I'm just teaching online, but I'm still living here. I have lived in Thailand most of my life, really.
Oh, but yeah, that's great. And I have seen thousands of American who have been living in Thailand and they are teaching English there. So what's the reason?
Well, I don't know. I don't know any other teachers in Thailand who are with Cambly. I don't know anybody. I think a
Hmm.
lot of them they're probably probably down south in places like Phuket or up north in places
Hmm.
like um, Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
So
Okay. But it's my honor to have a conversation with an experienced English teacher who has been teaching English for many years in Thailand, and I'm also a teacher in India.
oh, great. Okay. Are you
Yeah.
teaching English as well?
Yeah, I teach English and Sanskrit, two languages I teach here.
Okay. Now, who are you
Mm.
teaching English to?
I teach in high school.
Okay, great. Well, you're obviously fluent in the language, but how are your students?
Yeah, my students are also doing well, and actually that's the purpose, to subscribe cambly and to speak with more and more native English speakers to brush up my English.
Right? That's always a
And
very good
yeah,
idea.
and okay, and sir, I show these all videos in my classroom, in my school.
Okay. So you want your students to hear a native speaker.
Yeah, so they learn, listening is very crucial to learn any language. So they learn from listening. They watch our expressions and everything, and they can get confidence also. Yeah, my teacher can speak with native English speakers, so we can.
Yes. Well, why
Mm.
not? Of course. And what kinds of things do you concentrate on with your students?
Okay, first of all, we have to teach them reading because they are bad at reading also.
So
And
reading,
after
yes.
that, yeah, after that, we teach them some basic grammar rules and vocabulary. And we have special textbooks in our designed by government.
Okay. And then do you have them try to have some conversations together about what they're reading?
Yeah, I arrange actually. I arrange these all activities in my classroom. So first, I show such type of videos on a big screen. Then they catch some sentences. Then they get confidence. Although they make mistakes, but I always appreciate. Don't worry about making mistakes. Uh, it is not a rocket science. It is only it's only a language. So just by speaking, you can learn this. It.
Yes, we all learn from our mistakes. That's not a
Mm.
problem.
Yeah,
Um,
trial and error. That's a process. Also, trial and error. That's a process.
and how many students are in your class? Or how many
Oh,
classes do you have, and
yeah,
how many
yeah, yeah,
students?
yeah, yeah. There are four classes, nine grades and 10 grades, and each grade has two sections, A and B. So there are four classes in my school.
Okay, and in one class, usually how many students?
Yeah, at least 50 students.
Wow,
Hmm.
that's 50 students.
Yeah, yeah, 50. As we are highly populated country, that's why.
Yes, I suppose that would be the norm. Do the students with such a big class, do they have an opportunity to ask you questions if they're not sure about something?
Yeah, that's a big problem. That's a big problem. But we have to manage it.
Yeah, well, with 50 students, I mean, you could always get some questions up on the board to have them practice conversation and put them in maybe groups of five, or if you group them, how many people do you put in a group? Like 10
Uh,
groups,
yeah,
five?
yeah, 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 yeah. No, no. Sometimes they only listen. All students get a chance in different days. On a single day, all can't go get a chance.
Well, that's true, but sometimes you can put them in groups. Like if you have 50 students, put them in 10 groups of five. Let them speak amongst each other, and you can just walk around and see what they're saying.
Yeah, I do. I do these all things. Yeah, sometimes I
Yeah.
do this. So really, I'm very fortunate today to have tips from an experienced teacher. Really.
Well, that's what I do all the time when I'm teaching in a classroom. But I don't have 50 students. I don't usually teach in a school system. I've been teaching in different language schools, so
So
um,
how many students do you teach in a one class?
um, the most was say maybe 30, but not in a language school. That was um, there have been many occasions where I was sent to work in a company, and there could be anywhere from 20 to I think 28 was the most, 28 students in one class,
Hmm.
but these
So
were company classes.
yeah, yeah. Okay. What's your point of view about the numbers of students in a class? What do you think about maximum and minimum?
um, well, there is no real minimum because I mean there are also private lessons, so that's one on one. It's always nice to have an even number though, so I would rather have say four students than three because there's a lot of pair work activity you can do. And it depends what you're teaching. If it's a conversational class, um, communicative skills, well, then no more than 20 students, really 25 at the most. But your situation is different. You're teaching in a public school and you're teaching reading, not so much communicative skills. So
Hmm.
you have to do what you have to do. But in a language school, you would almost never have 50 people in a class. It doesn't really work that way. It's a different
Hmm.
skill set you're teaching the students.
Yeah, that's great. And what about teaching English in a mother tongue? Do you use their mother tongue to explain?
Do I? Yes, but very little. Maybe 5% of the class. Some
Okay.
people frown on that and say you shouldn't use the mother tongue, but you know, I worked in Japan. I learned Japanese. I work in Thailand. I've learned
Uh,
Thai. So if I can explain something in 5 seconds rather than 5 minutes, I'll do it in 5 seconds. Some vocabulary is difficult, and there's nothing wrong with using the mother tongue in the classroom, but sparingly.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely. I do agree with you. So, but we should use our mother tongue when it is needed. We should not teach everything
Oh no, of course
in our mother tongue. Yeah, we should
no, no.
not teach the mechanism of grammar and this all things because it's a language. I think like that.
Well, yeah, if they're in a class to learn English, at least 95% of the class should be in English, and they can hear things and they can read and they can figure things out for themselves.
Mm.
But in some instances, if you can very quickly explain something in their language and then they have it, then that task is finished and you can move on. And anyway, if when I'm in a classroom situation, it's my class, I'm the boss.
Yes, we say I'm the king in my classroom. In India, we say we are the king in the classroom.
Yes. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I remember when I was in Japan, I was doing a training session just for that particular school, their style, and this trainer was telling me that you never use the language, the native tongue in the classroom, their native tongue. I said, you do what you want, I'll do what I want.
Uh, wow, great, great. Mm.
Well, and she was younger than me, and I had already been teaching for many years, and
Mm.
she was my trainer only because it was a new school, and so for me to know what's going on in that school.
Mm.
But I mean, otherwise, I did not need her input or
Mm.
assistance at all.
Yeah. So definitely you can say that you are an expert how to teach language. So you
Um,
shouldn't interrupt.
hopefully, I'd like to think that way, but um, and as a teacher, sometimes we try new things that don't work, but usually what I try to do works for my students, and I think they appreciate it.
Mm. Yeah, great. And I also read in your profile you teach IELTS. So do you also teach IELTS in Thailand?
Well, I'm not really teaching IELTS because there are different parts of IELTS. I just guide students within the speaking parts. So I'm not
Yeah,
really teaching them. I'm just helping them to speak out.
yeah, yeah.
That's the best I
Okay,
can.
yeah, yeah. In India also there is a big market of IELTS. Everybody wants to go abroad, and in order to go to abroad, they have to pass. They have to get higher bands in IELTS.
Yes, so that's all I can do. Okay, well, I've got my student calling me now. I've got to go. Thanks for calling.
Okay, it was
All right.
nice conversation with you.
Yes,
Bye
thank you
bye.
very much. Okay, bye bye.